Rent collection used to be a fairly straightforward part of being a landlord. You'd agree on a date, and the money would arrive in your bank account. But here in 2025, things have become a lot more complicated. The world has changed, and the rental market has changed with it. Landlords are now facing a perfect storm of challenges that make getting paid on time more difficult than ever before. It's not just about chasing late payments anymore, it's about understanding the pressures your tenants are under and having a robust, flexible system in place to manage the entire process from start to finish. This new landscape requires a new way of thinking. The biggest shift is the economic pressure on tenants. The cost of living crisis, which we've all been talking about for years, hasn't simply disappeared. Energy bills, food costs, and general expenses are still incredibly high, and wages haven't always kept pace. This means many tenants have less disposable income, and their monthly rent payment is a much larger chunk of their budget. When an unexpected bill comes in, like a car repair or a school trip, the rent can be the first thing to be delayed. As a landlord, you need to be aware of this financial fragility and approach rent collection with more empathy and understanding than in the past. On top of the financial strain, tenant expectations have also evolved. We live in a digital world where everything from ordering a takeaway to booking a holiday is done instantly on our phones. Tenants, especially younger ones, now expect the same level of convenience when it comes to paying their rent. They don't want to be messing around with standing orders that are difficult to change or writing checks that nobody uses anymore. They want flexible, digital payment options that fit into their modern lives. If you're still relying on old-fashioned methods, you're not just making things harder for them, you're making it more likely that payments will be missed. So the challenge for landlords in 2025 is twofold. First, you have the external economic factors that are putting a squeeze on your tenants' finances. Second, you have the internal need to update your own systems and processes to meet modern expectations. The legal framework for landlords is constantly shifting, and 2025 has brought some significant changes that you absolutely must get your head around. The most talked about development is, of course, the Renters' Rights Bill. This piece of legislation has been designed to give tenants more security and power, which has a direct impact on how you manage your properties and, crucially, how you handle rent arrears. Another major financial hurdle is the change to universal credit deductions. However, the government has now lowered the maximum deduction rate to give claimants more of their monthly allowance to live on. While this is intended to help tenants cope with the rising cost of living, it means that landlords will see arrears being paid back much more slowly. This can create serious cash flow problems if you're not prepared for it. To succeed in 2025, you need to ditch the outdated methods and embrace a modern, technology-led approach to rent collection. The key is to make it as easy as possible for your tenants to pay you. Think about it. The easier it is, the more likely they are to do it on time. This starts with offering a variety of payment options. While a standing order is still a good baseline, you should also provide multi-channel payment choices. This could include online portals where they can pay by card, direct bank transfer links sent via email or text, or even mobile payment apps. Automation is your best friend in this new era. Manually tracking who has paid and who hasn't across multiple properties is time-consuming and prone to errors. Modern property management software can automate this entire workflow for you. The system can automatically send out polite, friendly reminders a few days before the rent is due. Real-time tracking is another game changer. With the right software, you can have a live dashboard that shows you the exact status of your rent roll at any given moment. You can see instantly who has paid, who is overdue, and who has a payment pending. This level of visibility is incredibly powerful. Preventing rent arrears starts with thorough tenant screening. This proactive approach begins long before move-in, focusing on finding reliable tenants. Tenant referencing is your first and best line of defense. Verify employment and income to ensure they can comfortably afford the rent. Get a reference from their previous landlord to understand their payment history. Establish clear rules in a comprehensive tenancy agreement. Building a positive relationship encourages tenants to communicate potential issues. Setting a fair, sustainable rent is also crucial. Despite your best efforts, tenants may fall behind on rent. Act quickly and calmly with a clear plan. Contact them immediately. Don't let the problem worsen. Send a polite message or call as soon as a payment is missed. Understand the situation. Ask about the missed payment. If they face hardship, collaborate on a solution. Agree on an affordable repayment plan. Put the plan in writing, detailing extra payments until the debt is cleared. Help tenants access financial support like Citizens Advice. If a repayment plan fails, consider legal action. Serve a Section 8 notice. For landlords, the skills of your team are as important as the technology you use. Managing rent collection requires financial acumen, technological competence, and interpersonal skills. Property managers should receive regular training to stay updated on laws and communication techniques. Technology should empower your team, automating repetitive tasks and freeing them to focus on building relationships and solving problems. Training should emphasize a supportive approach to arrears management. Tenants are more likely to engage positively when they see your team as a source of help. A tenancy is a partnership. Landlords are realizing that a stable, happy tenant is the foundation of a successful investment. The key to long-term success is building a resilient, adaptable, and tenant-focused business. This starts with continuous learning. Laws, technology, and economic conditions will shift, so stay informed and adapt your strategies. Building strong relationships will always be central to successful landlording. Treat tenants with respect, communicate clearly, and respond to their needs promptly. By combining modern technology, learning, relationships, and a prudent financial plan, you can build a robust property business that will thrive.